So, Miss Universe, what drew you to that?
Whew, okay. So I modeled, and it was not a very successful career when I started. Let me just say
Let's
that
talk
to
about
all
when you
of the.
started to model. What do you remember the moment that it hit you that Moa Maglan so?
Interestingly enough, it wasn't something that I feel like it was more people around me saying that you should do this. What I wanted to do was sing on Broadway, actually. That was one of my first. That's and be a professional cheerleader. So I had a lot of these white people dreams, and I think it's because I used to watch Disney enough, right, when I was younger. So I was like, I didn't see a lot of women from Jamaica doing Broadway. So I was like, I want to go and be a Broadway star. I want to be a professional cheerleader because nobody else know want to do that. I never like do what nobody else want to do,
Right.
right? So I want to do something different. And then people were like, oh my God, you should go model. And I was like, okay, let me see. Let me go and see. So I went to the Pulse. Pulse was having like their audition thing. But I have mixed feelings about that because when you went, regardless of your age, you have to pay money. So you go and you pay, I think it was maybe like $50,000 at the time.
$50,000.
You pay some money. You're supposed to get a sponsor,
Okay.
but really they're telling you to pay the money. So you go and you pay some money, and then you get some training, and then you compete for a spot to be a Pulse model. I didn't get a spot. And then I thought that was basically it. Like that is, it's not until after I did pageantry where people were like, "Oh, she models," and then I was like this big face. So the first thing that I entered was Miss. People don't know this, but I entered Miss Jamaica World. That was the first pageant I entered, but I was literally non-existent. Like there's actually a picture where we went to Dolphin Cove, and my hand, I'm under the water, and my hand is like this, and all the girls are like I was literally drowning under the water. See, true story. I was basically non-existent, and it was because I was still trying to find myself. But when I entered that competition, I think it lit something in me that like I can do this and do better. Like I feel like I can do more.
Right.
And one of my friends, Damian Shaw, the Mr. Image, he was like, "Girl, you look nice, you know." I didn't have a lot of people that would like people. I feel like Jamaican men. Let me just say this for the listeners. Don't trust Jamaican men. I could be in a paper bag walking down the street. Somebody would call me beautiful. Yeah, babes. Yeah. Yep, that paper bag there fit your eye. Yeah. So it's like you get a lot of that type of validation, but you don't really believe it because, no matter where I go, a Jamaican man will call to me and you know what they want, right? Or you have an idea of what they might want. So when somebody looks at you and say, wow, you are beautiful, like you can do this, like I believe in you. So he was really the first person to like tell me that you have something special, like you can do this. Even I think I would like to say I'm famous for my smile. But
Yes,
there was a
it's
time when I
stunning.
really, thank you. I really didn't like my smile because you have the little extra gum up your son. So I had to learn to love a lot of things about myself, and he was the catalyst that helped me to do that. So after I entered Miss Jamaica World, I went to Miss Universe in Ocho Rios. I was actually scouted by one of my pageant moms, Shelly, and she was like, "Oh, you should come enter this pageant." It was the first. I like to do things when I'm the first one. It made me feel like I discovered something.
Right.
So it's the first time that they were doing it, and I was like, "I'm going to give this everything I have. Like I have to win this. Like, this has to be the thing." So I was working at Turnover at the time. And I would work my morning shift at Turnover at 6 a.m. Then I would pack up all my bags and accoutrements and take a bus. Like, so I have heels, makeup, everybody change their clothes. I have 3 bags and I'm on a bus to Ocho Rios. And then we have our rehearsals. And then I have to take the bus, come back down for the night shift at Turnover. And I feel like pageantry is this glamorous lifestyle. It's like, ooh, she looks so fabulous. Oh, my God. And I was in the bus with everybody with a 3 bag them.
Takes work.
Sometimes my shoes pop off and I have to just drag it and, just walk with one foot. So it was kind of like, again, that double life that I was living, that I was trying to bridge the gap between where I was and where I wanted to be. And I ended up winning that pageant. But you know how you dream about your pageant and everybody's screaming your name? When I won, they're all screaming somebody else's name.
Excuse me?
So when they were like, and the winner is Dianne, the crowd went ballistic. They were cheering for the second runner-up, who was actually from Ocho Rios. And like, I swear they was going to burn down the place. I'm there with my crowning moments. And, they're like, no, she's not the winner.
Yeah, Jamaican people are going to let you know what they're thinking.
It was awful. Even the entire night, like when I was going to do my swimsuit, my shoe broke. I had to run back and change my shoes when I was going to do my gown. My dress broke. Them have to come sew me up in the dress. And it was like, wow, like this is not going to work out. And then I won. And then the crowd was doing that. And again, that's where I'm meant to be. And then this kind of friction with where I am and where I want to be.
Yes.
So I felt like a lot of my life has been like that. It's kind of like I'm pushing for this vision, this place that I see myself, which is nowhere that I've seen before. So I don't even know what it looks like. But I know that there's more for me. So I'm always trying to push to that next thing.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and then I went to the national leg of Miss Universe where I competed with Casey Fennell. And I was the 4th runner-up. I came 5th. And I was devastated. Devastated. So when I cry, I get this, this line down my forehead.
Yes.
So every picture from that year, there's this big line. And I'm smiling now, but there's this big line in my forehead because I was crying so hard. And so I used to coach pageants. I don't really coach as much as I did before, and it's because I started believing in what it represented. I have a lot of self-esteem issues, apart from just the ones that you build growing up. Every day that you wake up in a pageant, you're literally being compared, not just your body, not just your face, but your intellect, your personality, your presence is being compared with everybody standing beside you. And even though they say everybody wins, you're still giving one girl a trophy and a crown and then telling everybody else, good job. So the message that you're sending to me is that I wasn't good enough. I didn't do something enough for me to have been the winner. If we're all so equal and we're all so beautiful, why would this person win? And then if you are not at a place where, and I feel like young girls, 25, 27, we're not at a place where you're like so secure in yourself, where it doesn't matter, most of us, that can hit you really, really hard. Really, really hard. So it's one of the reasons that if people have been wondering why Discipline of Beauty, which was the name of my pageant, is the name of my pageant coaching business, we don't do as much broad scale, because I realized what it did to me, what it does to women. It makes you second guess yourself. And the confidence that you build up comes afterwards. So there's like this patch that you have to go through of insecurity and just not feeling like enough. And then after the journey, and some people don't even bounce back from it.
Right.
Because you put it's not a baby thing, This is it's like the Olympics.
Right.
Like everything has to be on point all the time, and you can't even lose a sense of who you are because you're trying to please so many different people.
So how did you get into coaching?
I got into coaching because I saw, it comes back to the word guidance. There's not enough of it. And I was that person who entered the pageant thinking I can just go and do it, right? But no, there was all of this training and this self-development that you need to go through before. I think a lot of women think when you go in there, they're going to develop you. No, if you want to win, you need to be there. You need to be the winner before you enter. So yeah, I started coaching because I thought I saw a need for it. And not just to, I think in the beginning it was more to help women win, especially the underdogs. The girl that may have said, no, she's pretty, but
she's not gonna make it.
She's and I feel like we're slowly getting more diverse in how we pick our queens, but there was obviously a stigma. There's a certain kind of girl that won. And if you weren't that certain kind of girl, you're not going to win. Like, just sit down at your yard, and in a sense, you're going to be a number. And I think girls entered not knowing that kind of, it existed. It was a thing. And they entered the best of intentions. Sometimes they're very intelligent and very well-intentioned. But they entered not having the training, not having the privilege, when I use that word very intentionally, because some of us are born with certain privileges, whether it's our look or family or a background or knowing people who know people, and that those things are factors in the pageant world. So I wanted to give the women who didn't have that, like me, an advantage. So if I could be, and I remember when I was entering, I remember when I just won my the Miss Universe Northeast to come to the nationals, and I saw that Casey was entering, I was like, if she gives 100, I'm going to have to give 150, just so it's even. Not so I can win, just so it even.
Right.
And I remember having that mindset, and that's what I wanted to do for women who are like me, that we never have the glitz and the glamity and all the things them, but we had will, we had that drive, we have that want to represent our country, because I am Jamaican. I feel like I deserve to. I'm enough to represent my country.